As ambassador to the United States, I can tell you that the struggle to defend Israel's legitimacy, our right not only to defend ourselves, but also to define ourselves, to exist as a sovereign Jewish nation in our ancestral homeland, is one of the great struggles of our day. In the past, our enemies tried to destroy our armies on the field of battle. Then, when they failed at that, they took on terrorism and tried to destroy us in our cities, in our homes, in our neighborhoods. Now they are attempting to kill the very idea of Israel. Just as our Israel Defense Forces fought off those armies and fought off those terrorists, so too today is the Israel Project joining with us in this historic struggle to fight the great battlefield of today, which is the battlefield of the media.
The Israel Project was founded in 2002 to help protect Israel and the global Jewish family, to educate, to defend through truth, to proactively get ahead of news stories. Its success in having measurable impact is largely a function of how the Israel Project has positioned itself at the intersection of the media, the Israeli government, IDF officials, diplomats, and public opinion. It is the one organization that bridges these key constituencies: policymakers, news reporters, and the public.
I remember one story that tells you about the challenges we face. CNN's Anderson Cooper was visiting Hezbollah-controlled sections of Beirut to see supposedly damaged buildings. Instead, because of our work and that of others, he showed the real facts.
They said you can talk to the ambulance drivers, and then one by one they told the ambulances to turn on their sirens and to zoom off. And people taking that picture, would be reporting, I guess, the idea that, these ambulances were zooming off to treat civilian casualties, when in fact, these ambulances were literally going back and forth down the street.
It's a small example of the deceptive practices that the terrorist groups that want to destroy Israel resort to. And a small example of the kind of success we work around the clock to achieve. We need to get facts and visuals to reporters before they do their stories so that they can get the story right. We host media events. We disseminate critical facts to thousands of journalists and leaders via email, Facebook, Twitter, and more. We take reporters and leaders on guided helicopter tours that show Israel's tiny size and huge security threats. When the truth is known, people are more supportive of Israel and policies that make Israel safer. We translate critical information into numerous languages for reporters in countries where support for Israel is increasingly important.
The disadvantage for the foreign journalists coming here is sometimes they come here for maybe 2 years. I think sometimes it takes you 2 years just to get oriented to the whole situation. If you're coming in and don't know the backgrounds of the situation, it can be a difficult story to report on. So I think that's why the Israel Project can be invaluable to journalists that are coming in here, maybe from another assignment, who have never had a background in what's happening in the Middle East or Israel.
There's so much news happening in the world today, and so much of it is breaking news that unfortunately one doesn't really have the time or the resources to invest in finding the right people to interview for a story, or in putting the right amount of time into a story and asking the right questions. And that is where the Israel Project has played such a critical role in helping all of us here at Russia Today, particularly myself as the Middle East Bureau Chief. I find that very often when I phone them, they're available 24/7. I can ask for suggestions on particular people to interview on a certain topic, and within an hour they'll get back to me with names and phone numbers. In addition to that, they very often preempt the news by sending me updates and releases on what is likely to happen in the news, who I can talk to, and what kind of research papers I can assess.
Sometimes what we do is big, but sometimes being proactive means looking for opportunities to make the case for Israel in subtler but important ways. Most of the world understands the significance of the death of terrorist mastermind Osama bin Laden. We disseminated to policymakers and the press the fact that Hamas condemned the killing and called bin Laden a, quote, holy warrior.
And the reason I welcomed the invitation by the Israel Project to speak to you about it, to talk to you about it, is because it is hard sometimes in the daily flow of events to understand that something truly of historic proportion is taking place.
We need good press about Israel science, Israel's development.
I have personally been quite impressed with the work they've been able to do on polling and on focus group studies here in the region. It helps us better understand attitudes of the people in the region about the very issues on which Mr. Blair and I, as well as the staff here, work.
The way Israel looks and the way Israeli positions are explained and understood become very important. In that respect, Israel Project does a great job.
I think it's certainly very important to get accurate and timely information, as I do on a regular basis in my own office, to make sure that you can sway public opinion in a positive manner by just dealing with the facts.
We need to bridge the gap between Israel, our values, what Israel means to us, and the image of Israel all over the world. What Israel Project is doing is trying, together with us, to bridge this gap. It's not an easy task, but together we can meet this challenge.
I would just say that the Israel Project is an effort to make certain that the truth is told, not just in the United States, but worldwide.
And it seemed intuitive to me that there had to be somebody that was doing this work well.
We are on the forefront of the fight against anti-Semitism on a global basis.
Billions of people around the world learn about Israel through the press. If you want to combat anti-Semitism, if you want to protect Israel, if you want a more secure Israel, if you want to fight for Israel on campus, the work of the Israel Project becomes an urgent necessity.
The Israel Project has done an extraordinary job in standing with us and in combating this attempt to misrepresent Israel, to present a grossly and flagrantly inaccurate picture of events in our region. We will win this battle. We will overcome this challenge as we have overcome all of our challenges in the previous rounds of attempts to destroy us as a nation, as a people, and as an ideal. For that, once again, I express my profound gratitude and respect for the Israel Project.